Welcome back to another episode of Off the Dribble, featuring myself, Aashrith, and my co-host Chetan. This is our first episode since the Thunder stole Game Four, and we also have some breaking news. Not breaking news, I guess, at this point, but our first blockbuster trade occurred in the NBA, and it wasn't Kevin Durant and it wasn't Giannis. So we'll discuss that at the end of the episode. But for now, the Thunder steal Game Four, kind of like how the Pacers stole Game One. Chetan, neutral fan. Thoughts?
Um, I think obviously the biggest thing that stood out to almost everybody that watched the game was Shai's performance in the last, what was it, 5 minutes of the game where he
Yeah,
scored, was it 15 points, 18 points, something like that?
15. Yeah.
Um, I mean, that's showed you why he was MVP, 35 points. That's amazing on pretty good efficiency. And I think he only took, what, 8 free throws as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there you go. I really like the way J-Dub played. I think he's showing those flashes of being a little bit more consistent of that number two option. I think a lot of people were overreacting with some of his like one or two, mainly from the Denver series. They were probably overreacting with him being a number two option. He kind of proved his way right now. He willingly took himself to the basket, got to his little mid-range jumper, his fadeaway. Chet also played an outstanding game on the rebounding end, had a double-double, 15 and 14. On the Pacers end, I think my biggest takeaway was they move away from what's working for them throughout the first 3 quarters. Like I think they were up pretty consistently all first 3 quarters, and then Siakam was playing pretty well. I think he had 15 or 16 and a half, only had 4 points in the third quarter, didn't take a single shot in the fourth quarter. He was getting to his mismatches against Case and Wallace when he could get to them. He was taking advantage of it when he could. I mean, I think out of everybody on that roster, he's their most consistent scorer. Yeah, they have Tyrese Halliburton, who's probably their like most prolific, like all around offensive player, I guess you could say. But I mean, I think Siakam has like the ability to get you that mid-range jumper if you need. He can get to the free throw line. So I think they should really be playing through him a lot more. And again, Tyrese didn't have a great game at all. He went 1 for 7 from three. Like that's kind of where he's supposed to be, like showcasing his skills. 7 for 15 from the field is not bad. Again, assist numbers are still down. I feel like you guys are able to run him off 3 point line, and kind of also you're taking away his ability to pass. And when he doesn't find that ability to pass, and he's kind of running around the court like he does, trying to chuck up shots, it goes in the favor of your team. So I think if you guys are able to take that momentum from the fourth quarter, especially the last 5 minutes, into game five, especially since you're playing at home, I very much so think that you guys could win.
Yeah. I think role player performances are going to be kind of key for us. You see, Lou Dort only took 2 shots. Game five, he made both of them, but he only took 2 shots. Wiggins went 0 of 3. Isaiah Joe, kind of a non-factor. Casey Wallace, a non-factor. Um, you want those players to kind of play a lot better at home, and I mean, Wiggins especially, like he gave us game two, so like you're gonna expect someone of his stature, not stature, I guess, but someone like a role player like him to really step up his game at home. Um, the I Heart minutes really disappointed me. I thought he was getting beat off like those. I thought they were targeting him a lot on the pick and roll. He kind of held his own a little bit, but you could see he was late to like every switch. He just a bit slow footed. It's kind of showed you why we went with Kaysen those first 3 games, because like it just makes a lot more sense switching wise. He's a lot faster. He can hold his own against Siakam, except for those first 2 possessions of game one. He's done pretty well on defense, and his impact is a lot less off the bench. I mean, he had a couple good games before that, but last game 1 of 5 didn't really get it going. Um, I think that's one thing, but another thing is like I think the Pacers offense looks a lot better with Tyrese on the floor as like a distributor, but if he's unable to get his shot going, like it's so easy to guard him because it's just like a bunch of really, really good help defenders guarding the pass.
Yeah,
And you could see in the fourth quarter, their offense got super stagnant because the first 3 quarters they're moving the ball, generating quality looks. Obi Toppin's hitting threes. Siakam's getting to the post, doing whatever he wants. Nemhard in the corner, Neesmith in the corner. But you see when Tyrese really pushes it in the fourth quarter, like he's done every single game so far, their offense kind of just resorts to ball watching, and Siakam cannot operate in a ball watching offense. Like his entire thing thrives off, let me get the ball on weird sort of like mismatches and switches and just go to work. Three dribbles and me just to get a shot up.
Mm-hmm.
And like we really took advantage of, I guess, Halliburton's sort of tunnel visionness, which is really rare from him. Um, I would like to see the Thunder side. I would like to see Shea get going a little earlier. Like he kind of waited and kind of like gave J Dub and Caruso a lot more of the offensive load. I'm not sure if Caruso can score 20 again.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done it twice this series. Maybe he can, but I'm not sure if he can really keep that going. I'm not sure. I'm sure that J Dub can get it going to some extent, but he had 8 free throws in the first quarter. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sure if the whistle is going to be the exact same. But yeah, I mean, I think we won a game, and that was likely our worst game we played since game 3 against Minnesota. So I'm not too worried about tonight, but I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. I think going back to like the part where like they play ball watching, I think that's like really huge because Tyrese kind of runs their whole offense. So once like he's not able to like get them into proper sets, and especially with like the way Siakam plays, it's kind of full on like one-on-one ISO basketball. So you kind of need that space and like that movement going on like consistently, so that you don't have help defenders. Um, but what is your predictions for game 5? Obviously, you have the Thunder winning, I would assume.
Yeah. Um, I think this should be comfortable. I'm trying to remember because this series is like weirdly mirrored the Denver series like to a T. Like game 1 was won by a clutch basket by the opposing team. Game 2 was a dominant win. Game 3 was sort of not a dominant win for the other team, but kind of like a you felt the Pacers were going to close that one out.
Yep.
And game 4 was like Thunder were down by 10 game 4 against the Pacers and came back. We were down by 20 against the Nuggets
And
game
came back.
4 and came back. So I'm trying to remember what the score was of Thunder Nuggets game 5. I think we won by 7, yeah. But we won by 7 and we won the fourth quarter by 15 when you were down by 8. Yeah. I think this will be like a pretty close game going into the fourth quarter. Probably Pacers up like 2-3. And then Shea becomes Shea. J-Dub becomes J-Dub in the fourth
Yeah.
quarter. We get to the line, and I think we close that one out. Probably win by 6 or 7. That's probably my
I
guess.
think I think that's where like you can really see the diff. Like I mean, the Pacers have played an amazing series so far as well, but like
Yeah.
when it comes down to like needing like a push from like your star player, like it's been shown that you guys are the team where like you have those players to do it. I mean, you have the MVP, but also like when Jado is putting 27 and like getting to the basket at will and like making these mid-range jumpers, just in my opinion, I don't really think you can really stop that late game execution.
Yeah. And I mean, we were talking about it like a year ago when the Thunder weren't as good as they are right now. How the Thunder kind of lead on J-Dub to start those fourth quarters while Shea's on the bench, and how he can create looks for himself and other people. And I mean, it's starting to get a little earlier now in the game where he's kind of getting those looks, which is a lot really nice to see as a Thunder fan.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope we don't have to depend on Caruso to score 20 again because it's just like
Yeah.
it's so unrealistic to put 20-point big game expectations on someone like that.
Yeah. And then for me, going on to the Pacer side, what they had to do in order to, if they do have like a chance of like winning and taking some momentum, I think they need a lot more from like their supporting cast. I mean, Obi Toppin has probably been like one of the best role players in the series, other apart from Caruso, in my opinion. He's been amazing from three. Activity on rebounding has been amazing. Defensively, he's been able to stay on, being able to switch. I think he plays some center minutes when Miles Turner's out because they only play Thomas Bryant like 13 to 15 minutes a game. So, but they need more from players like Miles Turner. Miles Turner, in my opinion, hasn't had that great of a series. He went 3 for 10 last game, 3 for 11
He's
the
sick
game
apparently,
before.
to be fair, but
Yeah, I mean that's understandable. Also, at the same time, like you should be giving your team a lot more than like 2 rebounds.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
2 rebounds is crazy.
yeah, being out rebounded and giving up 15 rebounds is to the opposing player that you're guarding is kind of a little suspect. But I think players like Andrew Nemhart need to step up a lot more. Aaron Neesmith, players like that. That also kind of plays into a part of Tyrese being able to play make and him able to like play his own offense because that's kind of where players like Aaron Neesmith and Nemhart get those open looks in the corner and on the wing. So I mean, I think you guys are just playing like the proper game plan, and if you're taking away exactly what you need to take away from like their best player.
Yeah. So you got a prediction?
Yeah, I think you guys start off slow like you guys have been in the last couple games. I think it'll be like I think you guys will be up in the second half. They go on a run in the third, and then you guys will win by like 8.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I think we can move on to the big trade.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Desmond Bane, and kind of a shocker. I don't think anyone thought he'd be the first one to go. But to the Magic, I forgot to update this from before. But for KCP, Cole Anthony, 4 first-round picks and a pick swap.
Mm-hmm.
One notable part is that one of the picks includes the 2026 Phoenix pick,
Yep.
which I mean, based on what we think is going to happen with Phoenix, could be a pretty big pick.
Yep.
Now, some thoughts. What does this do for the Magic? What does this do for the Grizzlies?
I think I'll start on the Magic side because I think they like in the situation that they're in. I think they kind of like did what they needed to do. They needed that kind of 2B option apart from like Paulo and Franz that can go and get them a bucket, and they also needed shooting a lot. That's kind of what they did by signing KCP and during free agency last season, but it was kind of a flop doing that. He didn't really provide them with the shooting they needed. But I mean, Desmond Bane, every time I watch him play, I think he shot a little bit over 40% from three this season. Last season, when Ja was out for majority of the season, he averaged like 23 points per game. He's a great player, an above average defender, so kind of fits into the mold of the Magic. He's a hustle player, kind of. And I mean, that starting lineup, in my opinion, looks really good with Jalen Suggs, him, Franz, Paulo, and Wendell Carter. And then you have players like Anthony Black coming off the bench, Jonathan Isaac, a lot of players like that. I with the East being as weak as it is going to be, in my opinion, next season because Tatum's obviously hurt. Giannis potentially could be on the move to another team. So in my opinion, there's only like a couple of teams that are like really in a position right now to be competitive. So I mean, this was in my opinion a kind of a win now mode to see if they can try and get to the conference finals and then see if they can what they can do from there. But in my personal opinion, I don't know what the Grizzlies did. You still have two very solid players in Ja and Jaren. I think if all three players are healthy for a season, they could be like a top 8 seed. But now with someone like a KCP, like you're not really getting too much value. Cole Anthony could be a pretty decent backup point guard for when Ja gets hurt and then Scottie Pippen Jr. starts. But the 4 first, and like you said, is probably the key pieces of this trade, especially that Phoenix pick. Because if KD gets traded, that Phoenix pick, in my opinion, would be a top 12 pick next year. I'm not sure how deep the draft would be next year, but I mean, still a top 12 pick would at least be a high rotational player if you draft correctly.
Yeah, and a couple theories, right? Because we're gonna discuss KD like in a future episode
Yeah.
when he gets traded. But here's a theory, right? Because it seems like a big sticking point of that trade was that Phoenix pick.
Yeah.
Now, how does KD in Memphis sound?
Oh, wow.
Because you get the Phoenix pick back. That'd obviously be a big piece for Phoenix to get back for next year in an effort for them to tank, like meaningfully tank.
Mm-hmm.
And you have, let's say, I don't know what the trade would look like though, because you don't want to give up. If you get KD, you don't want to give up Ja or Jaren.
Yeah, you
So
have to, and you can't give up Desmond anymore because he's gone.
yeah, so you had to give Jalen Wells,
Yeah.
and like
What other you need another contract. You need like
Luke
another
Kennard is
big.
the biggest contract they have.
Oh, okay, yeah, you can give up Luke Kennard
Yeah, Luke
because I guess
Kennard.
you can kind of fill in that like that he's not going to fill in that 3-pointer role, but it'll be a little bit of an upgrade on the defensive end.
Dude, because I'm thinking,
Well,
right?
and then
'Cause
maybe they throw in Scottie Pippen Jr. there because the Suns need a point guard, and that's why they got Cole Anthony to get that backup point guard role when Ja like needs some rest.
you see what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
Because like I think Ja's value could not be lower right now.
Mhm.
So trading him doesn't make any sense.
And like
I
when it
think
comes to like all these like things I see about the KD trade, I don't take it like super like I've been seeing like reports, oh, like only 3 teams are like the possible suitors right now. It's San Antonio, Miami, and Houston. All the trades that have happened and like big trades that I've seen in recent times, like the Cat trade, nobody knew about anything happening. Like when Rudy got traded, nobody knew anything about happening. So like I think the possibility of him going to the Grizzlies is a lot higher than people like actually
Think
like.
about Kawhi to Toronto.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's and it makes sense too because like let's say they get back, I don't know, fucking let's just say they get back two firsts, Kennard, Scottie Pippen Jr., and like maybe another piece, right? Because that's
Yeah.
probably not enough to get KD. But
Mhm.
mainly that Phoenix pick is what they want back.
Yeah.
Then it makes sense
Yeah.
because then you're essentially giving up Desmond Bane for like an opportunity to get Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant's obviously an upgrade.
Yeah.
But if
100%.
they're not doing that and they're trying to run the shit back with John Morant, KCP, and Jaren Jackson Jr., this is just like, come on, what are we doing? Like this is
Maybe they're expecting is a big Zach Edey developmental summer.
oh man,
Zach Edey coming off of pick and pop threes next year.
dude, I saw Zach Edey hit a three against us in the playoffs, and I was like, what the heck? Jaren is like, okay. Can we have I don't know how long we have in the episode. Can we have a conversation about Jaren Jackson, bro? That
Yeah,
guy is so overrated. Like,
I think so
like,
too.
like, so he won Defensive Player of the Year in a
Mhm.
year where like Loki and I don't know. I don't remember who even the contenders were.
That
Like,
was 3 years ago.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, and the biggest critique of him as a player is that he can't stop fouling. How the
Hmm.
fuck are you a good defensive player if you can't stop fouling?
Yeah.
And like he's so he like how
He,
many bad games do you
offensively,
have?
in my opinion, like he doesn't have a bag offensively.
No
It's more
bag,
of
bro.
just
He
like
looks like he's
back
shooting his
you up a
backpack
little.
off.
Let me throw something up.
No, he's terrible. Like,
Yeah.
and I saw a Grizzlies account today on my Instagram feed pop up, and they're like, we should only trade Jaren if we get 5 first-round picks back. 5 first-round picks? Like, if they somehow manage to get 9 first-round picks combined for Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr., holy man, the NBA.
If the Grizzlies value him that high, and apparently I saw something, I again take it very lightly, something about the Knicks think a Cat and Jaren Jackson Jr. Dude, imagine they said a Cat and JJJ pairing would be like a dream come true. The
Oh
two
my
people that
god.
foul the most in the
Oh my
league.
god. They wouldn't even play any games together because they'd be on the
Yeah,
bench together.
yeah,
Jesus Christ. No, no, no. I swear, I swear, like, people don't watch basketball, bro. They just,
yeah,
like,
I agree.
it's so bad.
Like
Because
there's been so many times in the game where like they're up like six and he's playing pretty decent like defensively. You can see him like not blocking shots but being there to alter kind of shots. Then a dumb foul happens and he's at six or he's at five and he has to sit for like 3 minutes and there's no one to guard the paint. They take advantage of going at Zach Edey and the other team goes on like a 10-0 run. Like your biggest ability is being on the court.
I don't know, man. I think obviously people who support a team value their own players much
Yeah.
higher than people else. So, like, five, if you think he's worth 5 first, I mean, I think Jada's worth a lot more than 5 first-round picks, but maybe that's my bias. But like you gotta have some moments, right?
Yeah.
Like against the Thunder in the playoffs, where like they were never gonna win, but in a game 4 that's close with Jaw hurt, you're actually playing it pretty close. Scottie Pippen Jr. is giving you like a generational game.
Yeah.
You don't give him anything, bro.
Mhm.
Like nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's been on the team for a long time. I don't really think the Ja Jaren thing has worked. I mean, again, they've both been very injury prone and haven't really been on the court together too much every single season, but they still played enough games, in my opinion, for you to be able to tell like there's a ceiling for that team.
I agree. I mean, I don't know
Maybe
what the.
Ja problem too.
I mean, Jaw's just immature. Like when Jaw plays, like he's like I don't think he's like some generational player, but he's surely an all-star.
Hmm.
Like an all-star bench player.
Yeah,
But
100%.
I don't know, bro.
Yeah,
If it,
but
no.
I think yeah, I agree with you. I don't. Yeah, that was they should have kept Desmond. That's what I think. But if they run it back, they're dumb. That's my last thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, we have a lot more trades that are going to be incoming. We're going to have a lot more finals. Hopefully, just 2 more finals games, but at most 3.
Yeah.
that are incoming too. We're gonna have a lot more stuff to talk about on the pod.
Yep.
Hopefully, the Grizzlies are an afterthought. I don't know.
Very, very true. But yeah, everything Aashrith just said, we'll probably make another episode after the game tonight. And yeah, follow us on our YouTube and our Instagram and our TikTok at OffTheDribble. And we will see you guys next episode. Peace.
Peace.